Yeah, I'm remembering a friend of mine in the past who she she couldn't explain it, but she couldn't have anything touching her neck. And I'm like, oh, probably
Past life.
yeah. That sounds like it.
Oh,
Like it's a
totally.
very strong.
Yes.
She's never had anything notable in her
Yeah.
in that present life. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's kind of fascinating.
It's totally fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of interesting to us because it starts to have us realize that we're more than this lifetime. That's the thing, you know? More than what we can see influences us. And when you die, okay, the longer you are dead, the more you start to, especially if you start to rise in your frequency resonance, and we'll talk about, I think we've talked about death a number of times, but anyway, what happens is you start to be aware of your other lifetimes. Why? Because as you rise in your frequency resonance, as you die, assuming you do that, okay, and you'll get stuck in the human realm, you actually move, you start to become aware of what? Eternal now. And when you become aware of the eternal now you have access to all the lifetimes. And you start to know them and associate, and you're like, oh my God, all those lifetimes. Oh, that time when, now I know why Jim's here. Hi, Jim. You know, whatever it is. But my point is that those boxes, those little space-time resonance, right? I call them little file folders or whatever in different space-time resonances. You can open all of them. They all become visible to you because they're not, you know what I mean? Those space-time resonances are in linear time. They're not in the eternal now. The eternal now, all of it's happening, so you have awareness of it. So you get to start to experience that in a different way because it's not, we don't have that association with just this physical, finite lifetime, this is what our reality is. Makes sense as a little box. We start to know from a greater level what's actually happening.
So good point, though. Even you don't even have to die to realize.
No, you don't have to die.
That's what this episode can really help with too. Like I know a lot of people feel stuck, or like we had said before, like life happens to them, or trapped, or whatever the emotion. And it's like actually, there's a lot of greater things happening, and that can free you even just thinking about that.
Yeah, totally. And the thing is, it all comes down to how high your frequency resonance is. So you and I have talked about before the 0 point and being able to bridge between the present moment and linear time and the eternal now. Why do you care about the eternal now? Because you get to access information like this. I mean, if it's interesting to you. It's just and it's not that, look, all those things that you're learning in those lifetimes are there for you to grow and learn from. Okay, so it's not like you have to get bogged down in the story of it. Again, that's a very human thing. It's to be able to have the awareness. Really, the important thing is that it's not just about this life, this one physical life that you're experiencing right now, that there's these other things happening. And the spectacularness of it is that you're learning from all of them. And if you start to think about it and you're like, wow, that happens on many levels, like how much you're learning and how much you are other than just your mind, body, and like what you think of as real, it kind of gets a little trippy. You're like, whoa, that's a lot going on. I'm like, yes, exactly. That's what infinite indestructible consciousness is. It is this infiniteness, this limitlessness that it's hard for us to conceive of with our linear minds. Difficult.